including earth, sand, and the mind.
Ms. Nixon, thank you very much. Sri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. The difference between an idol and deity is that God authorizes the worship of deities. For example, if you put mail into an authorized mail box, it will be delivered to the address written on the envelope. But if you drop that mail into some box other than an authorized mail box, it will not be delivered. Similarly, if you create some form, call it God, and worship it, all according to your own mental concoction, there will be no benefit and your act will be condemned by God. If, however, you create a form according to the actual description of God's form given in the revealed scriptures, and if you worship that form according to the rules and regulations given by God in the scriptures, you will achieve excellent results. The result of that worship is love for God.
There are three main differences between idol worship and deity worship. First, an idol is made from an imaginary form of God, whereas a deity is made from the authorized description of the Lord from the scriptures. 2. During the deity installation, a few devotees invite the Lord in the deity form, called as a prana pratishta ceremony. 3. A deity is worshipped with love and devotion by the devotees.
We go to the question and answers. So, here Prabhupada to make us understand also, he gave a good example about the authorized mailbox. So the deities also, they are made according to the Vedic scriptures and following the regulated process. So as I said, that the material elements are removed and the spiritual elements are put back. And then the last thing, if you see, Deity is worshipped with love and devotion. And then it helps us to establish a personal relationship with the Lord. And if you see, this also is part of the 9 process in devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam also comes in that part. So Archanam means deity worship. So it is easy to relate. We know that God pervades the entire nature, like the sunlight is there everywhere. But if you do a specific worship with the Lord, it will help us to comprehend the picture, it helps us to focus. And it will say, like, if you can start with the lotus feet, where it will help us Lord to focus, and it will remove all anarthas, unwanted things in the heart, and help us to progress. Like I think last time during Janmashtami celebrations we did the Panchamrita. So it is easy to do that Abhishek for the Lord and get that pleasure, that unlimited pleasure we can experience when we do that worship to the Lord. So one practical thing we can do is every day you can bow down and if possible offer a flower. If you want, you can sing the Maha Mantra and offer the flower with love and devotion. Then you feel that connection with the Lord every day. And once in Alachua, me and Sandhya Mata were discussing with one devotee. Like he said some surprising things, like suppose he came to the temple to attend in Alachua every Sunday they have evening program, very big evening program. It starts at 4. And they have prasad at 6:30. If he eats and go home, then he sees his, I forgot what deity he has, he sees, and the deity will tell him that he is hungry. He will cook and then offer the prasad. So he has that relationship, right? He told, remember? So whenever he goes out or whenever he feels like he's coming back and he's going somewhere, he will tell, I'm hungry, feed me. Something like that. So he built that personal relationship with. So even if he eats back in the temple and he comes back, he cooks again. If the deity feels hungry, he cooks again and he offers the food. So this is like a practical example. We may not understand. Like initially when we see the regular water and Ganges water, we may not understand. But if we understand deeper and deeper, then we can definitely recognize what the difference between water and the sea.
Like they went out without feeding him, and they were out for very long, and when they came back, their neighbors came over and said, "We heard there was a child crying the whole time, and he was crying and crying and crying in your house." And they didn't have a child, but they heard the Lord actually crying because that one time they forgot to feed him. So he's a baby, at any baby. So their devotion was really, it was far out. Like the neighbors even heard the child. They said there was a child crying the whole time in your home. So yeah, that story always. Actually, I didn't know this story until a few days ago when we were driving back from wherever we went with Sumansh and Oakridge. I don't know where we went.
So you came to Brandon.
To your place, right? Or it's, oh yeah, for the sub.
Sunil.
Yes. Yeah. So she told the story in front of
I think we are going good on time. Anybody wants to share anything like this? Even last time when we went to Alaska for Janmashtami, like 2 weeks back, they had a Govardhan village, and then they had small temples, and then there were a lot of deities in each small temple. Those are the personal deities of some devotees living in that place. And at night they had the kirtan, Sankirtan, in front of each deity. And in the Sankirtan they were explaining how this deity manifested. And it was really amazing. I don't recollect all the stuff that they were mentioning. So all these deities are manifested just from, so they have just manifested, nobody made it. Like if our devotion is intense, the Lord himself says, okay, there is something. I forgot, one good pastime to share, but like that, those deities have, the Lord has communicated to the same devotee, and then they have excavated and they find those deities. And those are the deities they are personally worshipping. So, though some names they have appeared like that for the Lord, so that they had like at least 10, 15 small temples during Janmashtami. So we'll do these questions, discovery question. What happens when a person dies? Anybody would like to answer? Sir?
Scientifically decomposed.
Okay.
Oh,
But
he
according
gave
to-
the scientific answer.
Yeah, according to
That's true.
that's one answer. But here, according to this,
His spirit leaves
So
his
he
body.
is the body.
yeah, the spirit lives. And the next one is
Well, I can elaborate if anyone wants to know.
Yeah,
One thing I heard, it's actually like a severely painful process, and it's described to be as painful as 40,000 scorpions stinging you at the same time. When the soul is separating from this material body, it's actually like a terribly painful process. Yeah. So I read that in the book. There's a book called Death, actually. It's a very interesting book. So it explains very nicely. It's in the Vedic literature explains just like this. So
one thing is outside nobody talks about death, but that is as soon as we come existence into this life, there is a death element that is there. But the Vedic scriptures talk about it and they give a solution also.
Spiritual nature.
Yeah. It's spiritual nature. Everybody fine? Anybody wants to elaborate?
in blissful.
Nature of God. So understanding questions. Explain with an example why we cannot see Krishna with our material eyes. Explain with an example. Give an example. What do you mean is
cannot see air.
Yeah.
We cannot see air because our eyes are not designed to see the air. Your body can just feel it. Likewise, there are so many things around us right now, so many tiny microorganisms or whatever, but human body has its own limitations. We can see only certain things. We can't even see if there is some fog out there on the road, we can't even see what's there on the other side of the road. So that is the limitation of our human eyes. So I believe, therefore, if Krishna is of Satchitananda Vigraha, so you can't even perceive a spirit soul with your materialistic eyes. In order to see anything spiritual, you need to perceive it with your spirit soul, or your spiritual vision. I think.
After that, it's not like human body is designed you can't see air or something. In Arjuna saw Krishna, right? In those ages or something, you have that power to see God.
Right.
So nowadays your senses are attached to your material world, so that's the reason you are unable to see God.
Well, I think there were a lot of people at that same time as Arjun who couldn't see Krishna.
Yes, because their material,
But because,
their senses were not powerful enough to.
Yeah, very good point. Here we can distinguish, right? Duryodhana couldn't see. Even Krishna personally requested him, right? Whereas Arjuna could see. So now, good point. So we can.
Krishna gave him special eyes to see.
No, that's Virat. That's a universal form. But in general sense also, if 200 Krishna form, right? He couldn't see. Duryodhana couldn't see. Shakuni couldn't see. Right? Even Shishupal couldn't see. But whereas
they are not devotees. That's why they.
That's what we are saying. Now, yeah. So our material senses we have to redirect in the right way, so that they can perceive a spiritual element in the Lord. So fine, everybody. Next question. Why does Krishna appear in the form of wood or stone? Tejas, your question.
he's answering it. He knows everything.
But we can't understand.
We just came out.
So is there in some paragraph here. So the question is, why does Krishna appear in the form of wood or stone?
Because we cannot see in the spiritual form.
Yeah. So it says here, actually he is everything, spirit and matter, but you cannot see him in his spiritual identity. Therefore, to show kindness to you, he appears out of his unbound mercy in the form of wooden or stone deity, so that we can see him.
You swing it, then you won't do anything.
That could be one. Some more? Rohan?
Idol is made from an imaginary form of God, whereas a deity is made from God by description of words from the scriptures.
Okay. Good point. Because the scriptures are given by the Lord himself, right? So he can exactly give us the details. Whereas if we imagine and concact, like even in our projects, what happens is, even the requirements are there, sometimes few things we have to assume and we'll do the project off.
So I think we have Ganesh Chaturthi festival coming up day after tomorrow back in India. So it's so we usually call Ganesh idols. Anything that people go and purchase Ganesh idols for Ganesh Chaturthi. Right? So my understanding is that an idol is something which is made by someone, which probably might not follow all the scriptural injunctions in terms of how much size it has to be made and how. And even when you have to install a Ganesh idol in your home, you pretty much just buy it and get it and keep it at your home, and you do some regular puja that you end up doing, whatever you know. But it doesn't really follow all the scriptural injunctions. And I think that's the difference why when you go and see a deity installation in the temple, that's a very strenuous process because they follow each and everything in the scriptures accordingly. Whereas the idol one is like, it's not so effective way of installation. So that's why people keep Ganesh in their house for like few days, and again they kind of put him in water. So I think probably one difference what I can find.
Explain with an example. Here there is an example given. See the paragraph. So the application question everybody has answered. So we'll start with Elena Mata. What deity pictures do you worship at home? How do you serve them?
Well, I'm in the process of doing my new big altar, but before it was just Radha Krishna and no, I'm good. Gornitai, Krishna Balaram, and I do lots of incense, flowers, food.
You say,
Probably not the best.
how does it matter?
There's no like sandwiches in my house. Peanut butter. But yes. Right.
I have a lot of deity pictures at home, but except incense I am not offering anything. I do puja maybe for half an hour, I chant some mantras and some this one, but I am not offering anything except incense. I am trying to learn how to do puja. I think maybe somebody can teach me.
That's a nice desire, Prabhu. Do that. It's good. Great. Topic number 1.
So, you see in our homes,
Yeah.
we have those.
What do you do on a daily basis? Anything?
Not we eat really good.
You just hold his hand.
Well, you see them, right?
Yeah.
Actually, just seeing the Lord is actually a service by itself. So there you go. That's all you have to do. Just see them.
And who is there?
Goddess Lakshmi, Vinayaka, Saraswati Devi, Shiva, Venkatram, who else? Lord Hanuman, Sai Baba. Yeah. So we put Devu morning and evening, and then incense, and sometimes offer fruits.
I think you should talk about Tulsi Devi.
Now I removed, some of the plants I even planted on the ground.
Oh,
I wanted it to be big, yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
this pot won't be enough after it grows to a certain extent.
Yeah. You probably need to get a bigger pot.
But
Yeah, that's nice. How do you serve her?
in the morning, after I finish my puja, I'll just go put some water, then offer paints.
Do you ever walk around her? Or come on, you don't do. That's fine, girl. Huh? No. Okay. Yeah. That's really nice. Okay.
I am Lord Ganesha. Every day I chant some mantras after
I am Deity of Krishna and Radharani, and I fire incense, offer water, food, prasada, and I chant for almost 15-20 minutes. And it's enough.
I don't have any, honestly. So whenever I feel like I go to the temple.
you want to have?
Probably a subsidy of.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, we have Gaurnita at home, and we have Radha Madhav, Mayapur. Recently started offering. What was the first one? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. We have those cities. And I recently started offering flowers in the morning.
I have Krishna, Ganesha, pretty much everybody. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But sometimes I offer water and flower, prasadam, sometimes not every day.
I have many pictures. And when I chant, I walk around and look at them. And every morning I offer flowers and water to on the altar and on to the Prabhupada's feet. I have them all in his feet. And I put flowers because I grow a garden in the back. I always have little flowers to put on. And I offer food once a day. I'm not very devoted. Once a day, and I sing. I try to practice the harmonium. And that's it.
I have pictures of Krishna Balaram, Radha Shamsundar, and Gaur Nitai from Vrindavan. And I have other pictures. I have pictures of Krishna Balaram in Botswana, which is where I grew up. And I have a picture of Radha Kunj Bihari, who are from Detroit, where I study. And I also have pictures of all the spiritual masters and my spiritual master. And at the moment, I don't really do. My mother does everything. She does bhoga offering every day. Like, I don't even know how many times a day she's always like offering. Well, I also have a picture of Bal Gopal in my home, not in my temple, but like back home in Botswana, my parents have a small Bal Gopal, so I have this picture as well. And I guess whenever I'm allowed to, I go and steal flowers from my leasing office and offer them to the Lordship. And yeah, when I get time, I also sit in front of them, and if you hear them, I'll just appear them there in front of them. But I guess I chant in front of them all day. Every single day, I'll do my chanting in front of the Lord. It's my turn to talk. Go away. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think I do mostly the japa every day in front of the Lord.
I have Radha Krishna and Varanimai and I have Deity Krishna and I have Shila Prabhupada and I have Baladev Subhadra and Jagannath and I offer flowers and incense and water every day. And on this rare occasion when I cook, I offer some water. Yeah, and then I do japa in front of them. I mean, most of the time I'm not at home, so they're by themselves. But I'm still trying
I think we have pictures of Krishna, little Krishna, with Yashoda, and Krishna Balram, and Ram, Sita, Lakshman, and Panchatattva. We also have pictures of Lord Vishnu. We have a lot of pictures, and also we have small deities of Krishna and small. So we do puja in the morning. We offer group states. My wife offers prasad 3 times, or whenever we cook. Very much. I try to do my rounds 4 Yeah, I have pictures of the deities from New Vrindavan Temple in West Virginia, and few deity pictures from Detroit ISKCON Temple back there. Narasimha Bhagwan's pictures that I have. I have like Panchatattva pictures. Mostly you'll see a lot of Narasimha pictures because devotees gave me all those pictures when they were leaving.
You really need protection.
Yeah. So, I try to offer water and incense sticks every day. I wouldn't say I will do that every day, but I try to be consistent most of the time. And whenever I cook prasadam or whenever I cook any bhoga, I will just offer it to Krishna. And that's it.
Hare Krishna, I have Radha Madhav from Mayapur and the Panchatattva, which is Lord Chaitanya and his associates, and I also have the Guru Parampara, and I have small dolls of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, which I guess devotees brought at my house for the first time when they came.
Oh, yes.
They built a small cart, Ratha cart, and so I have that. Whenever I cook food, which is not so often, I offer the food, and on a daily basis I offer obeisances and chant japa. Whenever possible, I'll try to do the Mangal Aarti, do Aarti and offer incense and diya. That's it.
Thank you. So we will read the questions that we are done with the questions.
Who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, suddenly comes to me. A devotee of Kanya is friendly.
Krishna.
Or you can say Kanaya too.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny how you read that. That was good.
Devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy. How was this? A devotee situated in Krishna's consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all problems of life. Has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce a system, Krishna's consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in history of devotees of Lord risking their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Similarly, in India also there are many examples, such as Ahakura Haridasa, vice versa, because they wanted to spread Krishna's consciousness, and it is difficult. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a few devotees engaged in the service of the Lord.
So here they are sharing the devotees, whoever have realized, they are sharing that loving exchanges with the Lord, with their neighbors and everybody. That is significant of sharing. So once you have that devotional service where you are satisfied with yourself, you would like to share and exchange and enlighten others also. So that here, as we discussed right before, Motherji was talking about that. So here Krishna says, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of previous activities and mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. These are some of the solutions. Hare Krishna, mantra regularly. Which Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 17:27 to 28. So here is mantra. Saying it will automatically give us. Only thing is, we have to repeat. Whatever we are repeating that mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is given in the first page. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So that mantra, whenever we are doing, you have to softly pronounce it nicely, all the syllables clearly, and we should listen. So when we are doing that, it's kind of meditation, it's mantra meditation. If the mind is going somewhere, we need to pull it, so it will definitely go. So we have to pull it back and listen whatever we are trying to pronounce. So in that stage, what happens is that slowly the mind, instead of being like a jumping monkey from one tree to other, you see the mind, especially in these days, right? It's all over the place. 5 minutes you can't see one screen.
5 seconds.
Very difficult. You know, you're removing our phone and checking and going to some other application. You know, constantly doing a number of things. We're unable to focus. So at least this mantra, today we'll do one round of the mantra. It will take 10 minutes. But when we do repeat it, it will take 7-8 minutes. So whenever our mind is going somewhere, we pull it back and make it focus. So basically the mind should take rest. We give it a break. Then just we are repeating and then we are listening. 2 things. So once we do this, our heart gets cleansed. Whatever unwanted things there are there in the heart, because we are filling the heart with good stuff. Right? So slowly all the bad stuff will be washed away. And then we'll definitely able to see the Lord in the deity form. It will be more clear and clear, we can relate. Like my son, he goes, he comes back. Like if he goes to the temple room and he just comes back. Like slowly if he's doing this process, then he can spend time and then build that relationship with the Lord. So what we'll do is we'll do one round of japa, index finger. So this has 108 beats. We'll not use our index finger. We'll keep it alone. Only we'll use our middle finger and thumb. And we'll start after the Krishna bead. It is called Krishna bead. So we will start from here. Adjacent to Krishna bead, whichever is bigger bead, or if they are same size, fine. You can start either side. You can start here, and then on each one you can say the mantra. So now clear how to hold it? Yeah. You can start from here, so first one. Yeah. Start from.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why we should not use this?
This is index finger, right?
Not to point.
Yeah, not to point.
There are many reasons actually. It's like this finger represents our ego. And like how we point at people, and we also do a lot of dirty things, like we pick our nose or whatever. But also it's like scientifically explained that the reason we want to use this finger to hold the touch is because our nerves are connected directly to the heart with this finger. So we're trying to get a connection to the heart with this. But yeah, so this is considered a very unclean finger. I think you'll see in
mantra we do invocation mantra. You can repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Sri Advaita Gadadhara.
Sri Advaita Gadadhara.
Sri Vasadi Gaura.
Vasadi Gaura. Bhakta Vrinda.
So we'll repeat this mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare.
To keep the Japamala, they can keep. If you want to make small donation, that's fine. Otherwise, you can keep it. And thank you, Prabhu, Karthik Prabhu, for hosting the program today.
Actually, who else is? Who else is here?
Kavi.
Who?
Kavi.
Kavi.
He's not here.
You made him.
He's the one who came with you last time, right? Oh, okay, he's not here. And then there's 3 of you or 4? Oh, okay, there's 3.
I want to say something about the japa. When we chant the Japa must never touch the ground. Never. If he touch, you just put on the front and say, excuse me,